Welcome to the Power of Care podcast with host Brianna Dance. On this show, we will take an in-depth look into personal and professional resilience on several different levels. This is a space for people who are trying to navigate the ups and downs of life successfully. Be sure to follow on Instagram at Power of Care Podcast and on YouTube at Power of Care_.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Power of Care podcast. Today, I have a special guest, Mr. Mo Bowie, as he likes to go by. He is a financial consultant, and he's been doing this for like 30 years, Mr. Bowie?
32 years.
32 years.
August 17, 91.
What made you get into finance?
Hold on now. I gotta let everybody know how much I love you now, Bree. Now, this is gonna be a little different for me. They need to know my relationship with you. So I might slip up and say, instead of Miss Dance, I might slip up and say baby or something.
Just call me baby or Bree. That's how it is.
Everybody need to know. I'll let you tell them. But we've known each other a long time. But I'm sorry. Your question again, Bree. I'm sorry.
Yes. Well, let me tell the listeners how we do know each other. That's what I usually do. So I know Mr. Bowie. Obviously, he's a parent of one of my friends from high school, Mignon. Hey, girl, we got to get you on the show. But yeah. So we've known each other since me and Mignon were what, in middle school, high school,
At Riverdale.
And so in college, because we went to Hampton together. And so he's been around. He's just always been around. And one thing I admire about Mr. Bowie is he holds his family down, and he's about business. Like whenever I would go over to the house, he would have books everywhere. Like you were just always about that growth mindset. And so even though you may have been hard on Mignon in some ways, it was for her. It was for her good, and I respected it, and I always admired you for that.
Thank you so much. You know what? First of all, again, thank you for that. But I've told you guys this before, and I don't know if you recall how significant you guys were in helping me raise Mignon. Because I had to be kind of hard on men, and then men was being raised almost like a little boy. You know what I mean? So from the fighting and everything, technically, not street fighting, but
right,
officially fighting. But you guys, when Mignon became incorporated or assimilated with the crew, you, Avion, Atira, Van, what's my brother name?
Darion.
Yeah, it was cool because Mignon was a little headache now. Mignon was a little headache. I mean, you guys know, but when she got with you all, it was a little easier for me. It became cool for her to be intelligent. You feel me? And so it's certain things that your peers gonna do for you that your parents just can't do.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And so I always thanked you guys for that because it was very helpful to me because it was at times, man, it was rough. It was rough over here. We was going because
you were doing it by yourself. Also, give us your story about would you say single parent? I mean, you had her mom and you lost her, but
yeah, her mom passed when Mignon was 2 from cancer. But you know what? I had the title of a single parent, but I had a tremendous amount of help, from my mom. So so I never really looked at it as a single parent, even though I got the accolades as being a single parent. And there's another part to me as relates to a parent, because I don't even think you ever met her brother, right?
I saw him at the funeral, but
okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, a lot of people didn't even know that she had a brother.
Right.
So, and that's another story. We can get to that as well. But yeah, technically a single parent. And you talking about a wild, young, 30-some-year-old thinking stuff don't stink. If I curse on here, you gonna get mad at me?
No, it's fine. I want real, Mr. Bowie. Not
thing who thought his shit didn't stink, right?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he's raising a 2-year-old girl. And it was different, but it made me man up real quick though. I mean, I had a lot more evolving to do to become a man, and I would hope that I did a pretty good job. But she helped ignite that for me. You know what I mean? She really did. I remember somebody asked me, "Was you gonna give her to her grand?" What? I'm like, hell no, I ain't giving my daughter to nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, women do it.
Right.
You know? And I guess I didn't really understand it wasn't as prolific and as chronic for men to do it. And so, I took all them little like I say, them little accolades and little, the little praises and all that, and I use it to my advantage.
I know that's right.
Look, especially with the women. Now,
oh, listen. We love a man that takes care of their kids.
Oh, you got your own girl. We ride around the convertible. And Mignon be in there, it be hot too. She be fried that joint, Bree. and they look. It was a 500 Mercedes and a 911 convertible. And they look, and it be the little girl, and they be like, oh, it was a rap, Bree. I had it right here.
Got him.
Nah, but yeah. So my mom helped me out tremendously, and then I had friends who would help me from time to time. Mignon we didn't officially have a godmother, but if she was to have one, she had two. Young lady named Darnell Howe, and also Francine. It was Francine Jackson, and I can't think of her last name now. She's married now, but yeah. So I had some help.
Yeah,
I did on my own, but I just had some help.
Yeah, because did you ever realize like there's things that I don't know how to be, I don't know what to do, and you had these women in your life.
Yes, I never liked washing her. It felt creepy for me to wash her, so I was glad that I never was void of having a friend. You know what I mean, a female friend, and so I would get them to wash and have.
You were like, oh, that's weird.
I know that's stupid, right?
Yeah.
But it is true. You say, yeah. Look, thanks, Britt. I mean, it just felt kind of odd to me, baby, to do. It did. It felt odd. So I never really liked it. But it was a plethora of litany of stuff that I didn't know. I was still trying to grow up myself.
Yeah. Because how old were you when you and her mom had her?
I'm sorry, not Mignon. Marquette, her mom was like 28, and I probably was like 29. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm still trying to, at 29, I couldn't spell parent. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to be one. But, again, I had some folks to help me navigate myself through the process.
Yeah. Tell me about your mom.
What you want to know?
She was a special lady. She was funny.
Yeah, she was solid, man. They used to call my mother the Dorothy Dandridge of DC. And my mother was gorgeous.
I saw the picture. She was gorgeous. She was gorgeous.
My mom grew up in DC. She grew up in Foggy Bottom when the blacks were growing up in Northwest, like in the Georgetown area. She and my dad both graduated from Dunbar High School in 1953. My mom was the captain of the basketball team. She was she had a sister. She had one sibling that was 18 years her junior, my Aunt Nubia. They had different dads. But yeah, what else? What you want to know?
Because I asked because she obviously meant something so much to you. She was helping you with Mignon.
Well, she meant so much to me. I named my daughter after her. So you can't get much more than that. I was always in love with my mother. Man, me and my mother was like this. See, I came up in almost like two different households. So initially, it was my mother, my father, me, and my three siblings. I'm the youngest of four. And the closest one to me, which is my sister, Sharon, she was like she is 6 or 7 years older than me. So it was almost like we came up in two households. So that was the first stint. And then around the time from what I recall, around the time my sister was leaving high school and went into the military was around the time my father and mother broke up. And so now you got just this mother and this arrogant know-it-all, just do-it-all, guy, kid, son. So it almost seemed like it was really like a much older sister and a younger brother. So I lived in almost like two households. I lived in one, a regular family, and then I lived in one that was more like a single mom trying to raise his son. So my mom was solid though. My mother didn't go to school past, high school. So she wasn't a business person. She wasn't going to give me none of that. My mother couldn't give me none of that. But my mother gave me the yes, sir, yes, ma'am. We don't do that CP shit. You know what I mean? 5 minutes early is 10 minutes late. You know what I mean? So my mother got me on the principles of being, people ask me, am I military? Because I say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. So my mother then really instilled those principles in me. So my mother was my best friend. For sure.
Wow. Wow.
For sure.
And she recently passed.
August 22nd.
Tell me about her fight, because what was she battling?
You know what? Well, what happened was in 2017, February, my mother fell and broke her fibula in like 4 places. And at the time, so now my mother died 4 days shy of 89. So she was 88. So that's 2003. So that's 6 years. So my mother was probably around 81 or 82
when she fell.
Now my mother still exercised. We come from athletes.
Yes.
Yeah, we come from athletes. So my mother still exercised, walking a couple miles a day. And I always used to tell my mother was very hard-headed, tomboy. If you don't do it when she say do it, Bree, right away, she gonna get it done. So I'm coming home, Bree, and I see this joke up on a ladder, cutting bushes, 80-some years old. I'm like, Mom, what you doing? So you know, if you fall, you know who fault it is, right? Everybody gonna say it's Maurice's fault. It's Mo's fault.
Right.
So she was trying to go up some steps with stuff in her hand. She always used, Mama, stop going up the steps with this stuff. And I don't know, she lost her balance and fell down the steps. And she wasn't high up, but she said she was only like maybe 2 or 3 steps up. But she fell down and broke, and that created the downward spiral. So I don't know whether it was from medicine or what, but I always thought from a layman's position, because clearly I'm not an MD and I'm not qualified, but from a layman's position, because my mother was always athletically inclined, I always thought that if anything was going to go first, it would be her mind or her body.
Right.
Now she's taking, the medicine or whatever and going through extensive rehab, and it just started weighing. And then with the normal wear and tear from the evolution of a human body,
right?
She started, the dementia came in. By the time at the end, it wasn't any particular. My mother didn't have, baby. My mother wasn't on any medicine. Some years old, no high blood, diabetic, none of cholesterol, nothing.
Wow.
You with me? But the dementia came in, and when I say that thing is mean, sister, that joint is not a joke. So by the tail end, by the end of the road, my mom had forgot like how to eat. So when I would feed her, she wouldn't know how to chew. If I poured a fluid in her mouth, it would just run right back out. My mother, and this is gonna sound morbid and pretty bad, but my mother forgot how to pass stool. At times. So it was times, Bree, I had to actually, her son had to manually invade her rectum to pull the feces out because she couldn't pass it. So it's not a joke, man. So it's something that you got to deal with. When there are certain things, again, that created a metamorphic change in my life, and that was one of them.
Yeah.
My mother, again, my best friend, it put things in their proper perspective and let you really prioritize with certain things that just not important. It's not important for me to sit up here, keep arguing and doing stuff like that. Man, I gotta go take care of my mother, man.
Yes.
She's in business, baby. I lost the energy, and all I wanted to do was take care of my mother. You feel me? So if I go see a prospect over the last 3 years, if I go see a prospect or whatever, the prospect not getting a second call from me. Miss Dan, we're going to sit down and talk about the infinite banking concept. Nah, your ass say no, that's it, I'm gone home. That's your loss. You feel me? Now, if you wanted the service, I'm on it. But I didn't have the desire to sit there and do that because, again, at the risk of sounding repetitive or redundant, I got to get home. I'm going to go home and take care of my mom. We'll see. I'll see you around somewhere. So that's how it went. So it was a dementia.
Dementia is such a freaking, I hate it. My grandmother passed from that as well. And it's hard to watch because for some it seems like a slow decline, but with her, was it slow or was it fast?
It was fairly slow, but when it kicked in, it kicked in. But let me say this, Bree. Coming up where I came up and some of the bad decisions that I made. When I say where I came up, I grew up in Southeast in what they call Langston Lane, Woodland, Harford Street. And for people who know, they know. You hear me? So, and I'm a kid who became a young man in the 80s. So anybody, again, who's been around the 80s know how it was. And even though, anyway, I'm saying that to say this, we can come back to how I grew up or whatever, but I'm not foreign to death.
Right.
Right. So because, again, of some of the choices I made, in some of the circles I rolled in, I had several very close friends who died. Two I got taken from the street at a very young age. I saw Mignon's mother die at 28 years old. You hear me? I remember telling Mignon, she was 30. I'm like, you realize you've already outpaced your mama by 2 years? You know what I mean? As young as you are. I saw my brother murdered. You know what I'm saying? I see my parents. So the life expectancy, Bree, for Black women, if I'm not mistaken, is like 75 to 77, I think. My mother, again, was 4 days shy of 89. She won, baby.
She won.
She won. So she outpaced her average peer by like 10 to 12 years. So it wasn't a sad situation, because this was not one of them times when you see somebody, you know, so I become a little numb to death.
Yeah.
And maybe I need therapy for that. I don't know. You know, if it seems okay to me, but if it's something going on in my subconscious, that's why they call the shit the subconscious.
Right.
Because I don't know, right? So, but again, I just think that if someone had the chance to live that long and make their mark, like my mother did, as far as in my assessment, in my opinion on it, then she won. And to live that type of, to have her baseline at that place and to see her go through the pain, because I would be remiss if I didn't mention that she went into a rehab. No, she went to the hospital first in April of this year. And then she went into a rehab, and she created a full thickness, stage 4 full thickness pressure ulcer on her back. Via these, I don't think it was the hospital. I really think it was the rehab facility, but we're investigating that, unfortunately, now. So that was something too. So she has a hole the size of a softball in her back, where you can actually see the bones in her back.
Oh my gosh.
So, you know, that was part of it as well, because she had to deal with some infection. She did, I think at one point she caught a staph infection. So that was part of it as well. So again, you know, mom was solid though. Mom was a fighter. And, you know, at a certain point, you know, I would say, Mom, it was okay. And this may sound, again, crazy to somebody who hasn't gone through it. It's almost a relief.
Yes, because she's not in pain. She's not suffering.
Exactly. And you're not suffering as a caretaker, because some of the stuff I learned as a caretaker, because I didn't have any help. Mignon spelled me from time to time. Mignon wasn't built for that. And then I was fortunate enough to meet a young lady who we started dating, and she's a nurse, so she would help me from the physical side.
Oh, wow.
Yes, name is Justin. So she would help me from the physical side, but the majority of it, you know, I had to do on my own, and it was a relief. You know, it really was. It was time. I mean, when I say that was my world, I mean, that was it. But nobody can ever, I think, that saw me, again, as a single parent for 30 years can ever say, damn, I remember Mo couldn't go out because now I got babysit. I always was able to move, so I didn't have some of the plights of some single parents, or the majority, I would imagine, because again, my mother.
You had your mom.
Yeah, so if it was time now to sacrifice and to be there for my mom, and just wasn't able to do a lot of stuff, like I would go out, and I just got incorporated, right? I just got familiar with social media, right? They should have never did that shit, Bree. So look, so I'd be out and I'd take 1 million pictures, and you would swear I'm in damn Dubai or something. I'm around the corner. I just take pictures. So, but I couldn't do it. Was a whole lot. I couldn't go away for more than a night or something, you know. But God got him a good one. So I would be lying to people if I sat there and said, that John, yeah, it's your parent or whatever, whoever you take care of, yeah, but don't nobody want to do that. It's hard.
That's hard. And I don't hear enough support for caregivers. That is a tough, physically, mentally, financially, it's a lot.
They say that if you're not careful, now I don't think it would be the case in a son whose mother 30 years older, but if like you taking care of your spouse, right? They say you have to be very careful, because you can end up, as the caregiver being you can end up in the worst position than the person you taking care of.
Yeah.
So you have to have a selfish gene inside of you.
You do. And you got to take care of yourself physically, in every way. So how are you doing that? Because when I think of you, Mr. Bowie, I think of wellness as the umbrella, right? But then I see like financial wellness. I think family. I think all types of versions of that. So how are you taking care of yourself now?
Well, I was always going to stay consistent with my working out.
Okay.
I'm an avid gym goer. I'm immersed in the culture. I'm not a trainer. I'm not
You
a.
might as well be.
You know what Mignon said? I'm a fitness inspired. So,
I
and
like
that's
that.
actually that's one thing that's very very relevant. People have to take care of their physical.
Yeah.
I think outside of maybe your spirituality, based on the kind of person you are,
Mm-hmm.
what's more important than taking care of your temple, the temple that God gave you?
Right.
It damn sure ain't trying to get that bag.
Right.
Because ain't no need in creating generational wealth if you don't have generational kind of like health. You know what I mean? So you have to be there to be able to. Bottom line is, if you on this most superficial level, if you just look better, feel me? You're going. I'm sorry. If you look better, you're gonna feel better, and if you feel better, my assessment, my humble little 2 cent opinion, you're gonna do better. And so, and ain't nothing wrong with straddling the fence between being conceited and being confident.
Right. Right.
I think God made every individual beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's up to you to decide you're gonna take care of yourself.
How are you gonna take care of you?
Or you're gonna sit back on your arrogant ass
Mm-hmm.
and think you ain't gotta do the shit that everybody else do, baby. And go out here and walk and do whatever. And ain't nobody say we doing fitness life sentences. No pun, no disrespect to anybody incarcerated doing that kind of time. We doing a life bit fitness wise. So inch by inch is a cinch. You know what I mean? So you just nobody's I was prolific at organized football sports. But my organized days been gone for 35 or 40 years, whatever it is, right? But I'm still gonna take care of myself. Nobody said you got to be up on nobody's stage or anything, but you could do something. And so that's actually, so the physical part is very important. I think it's the foundation. I started, as a matter of fact, that's how the team KIP piece got started. Bree, I used to go to the gym. I used to try to keep my participation rate, or what I call my activity rate, at about 75 to 80%. So that means that if you got 31 days in a month, you need to be doing some kind of exercise like 24, 25 days. I'm a true believer in that.
Yeah.
But when COVID came, when the 1-9 came, I couldn't go to the gym because I couldn't afford to bring that home to mom.
With your mom, right?
So when mama finally, she got, like, I'm not an advocate of those shots, but I had to get it for mom. So when mama got her second shot, I made a beeline to the gym, right? And baby, when I walked in that gym, the love and the energy that I got, see, that's my place of solitude. You feel me? That's my culture. So when I go in there, I got the young kids like your age, 30-some years old. Oh, I ain't supposed to say that. How old they think you are, baby?
They think I'm 25. It's like, nah, I'm 31.
You look 21.
I'm proud to be in my 30s, okay?
You should be waving the 31 flag like this. Yes. So when I walked in, the love and the energy I got, I just felt like, I got young kids call me Uncle Mo. It just make you want to be there. So older guys, the few that are in there, call me Young Buck Nephew. So, I was just like, man, everybody needs to get this. So around that same time, I was introduced to social media. So for years, people be like, hey man, you should do Facebook. We older, so we Facebook, right? Don't judge me. So they like, you Facebook, right? So I'm like, man, I'm not doing it. I always thought it was corny, like dating online. I always thought it was kind of corny. So anyway, so at a certain point, I said, hold up. So now you got the 1-9. You already, when you grow older, as you guys will see, who need to get older, who want to get older, who hope to get older, your life becomes a little isolated. Friends start falling off, right? And then you had, again, the COVID. So now you stuck in the house, right? So I was just like, man, we need to maybe try to create something virtually, right?
Yes.
So I wanted to try to reach some friends. I'm just like, man, let me try this social media thing. I'm like, hold up. At the time, I'm 56, and I'm 58 now. I'm 56. I'm 58.75. I'll be 59 in 4 months. So I'm like
0.75.
0.75. Yeah. So I'm a financial guy. So I said people should get this. I was thinking, I was like, man, I'm 56. I don't owe nobody money, and I ain't messing with nobody's wife. Who I'm hiding from, right? I like,
True.
look, bro, I'm like, I ain't no damn secret agent. My name Bowie, not Bond, right? So I was like, well, hold on, let me jump out there. And so when I went on there, naturally, what one would do was start maybe promoting their business.
Mm-hmm.
But I just thought so for 10, 15 plus years, Brianna and all my other friends been saying, Mo, you should get on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, if I got on there and the first thing I did was have my hand out and start soliciting for money, I thought that was so classless. That was just my mindset, though. I'm not saying anybody who did it, I'm not, hey, look, do what you do. So, but I'm not foreign to Mike, and I'm not foreign to the camera, because as we alluded to the other day, I've been doing public speaking forever. It's just been about the finance arena, right?
Right.
So, I said, man, you know what? Hey, what's this whole posting joint? Oh, shit, I can talk, so I can say something. So I started talking about what came naturally to me, and if it wasn't finance, it was working out.
Yes.
So at the end of the workout, Bree, I'd be like, all right, y'all, keep it pushing. I ain't make up keep it pushing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then people start responding back. All right, Mo, we keep it pushing.
Mm.
And that graduated into Team KIP,
Mm.
right? And so it just took off. And I just thought that because people were isolated, they're in there gaining weight, they're doing all this excessive drinking and all this stuff. Well, hold on, let's utilize this platform to get people to use this form of synergy and let them know that you got a mob, you got a syndicate, you got a consortium, you got a family, a gang, a mob that's right there with you, that's going to support you. So Bree in the house, man, I'm ready to eat me drink me some vodka and some, and I'm ready to eat me something. And then she go online, just by having she go on the computer. Damn, that's a tearing them out there walking. Man, let me get up and go walking. And so it just worked. And the psychological edge that it gives you, the psychology behind it. It's just you're gonna see your folks doing it, and you don't even have to be there. Now, baby, we can walk at the same time, but you on the other side of the country, and we can sit there and communicate and just encourage and inspire each other just to keep it pushing. You feel me? And so that's where that came from. It really took off. We have, and the main thing is this. Well, not the main thing, but a common denominator to significance is I did not want to see. We were already getting raped from the gas pump to the grocery store. You hear me? All you gotta do is go grocery, your money back. Right? I remember my mother used to go to the grocery store. She could spend like $130, $140. I can't get up out that joint without spending $250, $300. And I'm not eating for as many people. Right? So anyway, it was just, I didn't want to separate anybody from their coins. I mean, think about it, baby. How many places can you go and have support, people rolling with you, assist you? Shit, we got the Team KIP Fitness Rescue Squad. You ready to walk at the bridge, B? You ain't got nobody go. We on our way. You feel me? I mean, so how many times can you do that and not be separated from your money?
Yeah.
It ain't a whole lot of places.
Yeah.
Now, and what we wanted to do was be a plug. So I didn't want any money coming from the constituents or the members, the family members. I don't do no damn followers. I do family. Ain't nobody following me. You know what I'm saying? I do family. I was blessed to have a nice advisory board come on with me. I got some fantastic people coming and pushing with us. At one point, we were growing at like 30, 40 members a week.
Whoa.
I mean, we were rolling. But it's fitness. So, just like in regular gym going, people going to come.
Yeah.
So, but we have walks. We have challenges, and there's self-challenges. Ain't none of that. Yeah, Bree, I lift more weight than Bam. We don't do that. Nah, come on, we too old for that. We ain't tripping off. We want to see people doing it. We want to love on each other, hug each other's necks, man, dap each other up, and just make sure we good. So that's important. So that's what happened on the fitness side. So fitness, to go back to what you initially said, is very important in what I'm doing. You get rid of that stress, you stay healthy. And I used to tell people all the time, because again, it was ignited, it was birthed, it was conceived during COVID. So I'm like, and tell me something, I ain't got to be as smart as Brianna Dance, right, to know this. If COVID just so happened to come and knock at my door, wouldn't I be a little better off if I'm in some shape?
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? It came and knocked in my door twice. And it wasn't a hiccup to me. You heard me?
Mm-hmm.
It was just a hiccup. That was it.
Yeah.
And I kept it pushing. Now, unfortunately, it didn't happen like that for a lot of folks.
Right.
You know, we all know. I know people personally who lost
That
loved ones.
passed. Yeah. Same.
Do that. So there's no disrespect to that. But it was a simple fact. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that if you're in better shape, I don't care what comes down your path.
Yeah.
You're gonna be better off if you're in some shape.
Yeah. And I lived that, Mr. Bowie, because I think I told you I tore my ACL completely. I was down. But before that, I was in a routine of fitness and working out and strengthening my body. And I really believe that it's helped my recovery. I really do.
No question. No doubt. No question.
Yeah.
You know, I tell people all the time, get your ass in that mirror business.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Seriously. I mean, if we want to go to this, let's go on. People call it superficial, but I don't think it's superficial. When you talk about aesthetics, looks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh man. When you see someone, you ain't like, oh damn, he look like he's just so smart. That ain't what you say. Oh,
Right. We have eyes.
praying, saying songs. Nah, you like, oh man, it's a good looking dude right there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's be honest about that.
So, and I think that just the same way, because people a lot of times try to relegate or mitigate that to a lower position.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, you shouldn't be sitting there and be so superficial. That's the only thing you're looking for. But
Right.
why not stay nice looking for your man or your
Yeah.
woman?
Yeah.
You know, why not? Why? What makes you think that you ain't got to do that? But then you mad because he looking at somebody else who done kept themselves together or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
or you expect him to look a certain way, but you over here not doing nothing.
I got a rack of dudes be like, man, she done got, and I'm sitting there like, are you serious? Look at you.
What are you doing?
And you don't have to be that serious because I'm in the gym. They go hard in this gym, Bree. And I call it the jungle. I go to Gold's Gym over in Capitol Heights.
And Richie Marlboro, yeah, that is y'all don't play in there. I've been in there with Mignon.
I go to the old time. So I tell people all the time, I said, man, I'm not really tripping. See, because you can have a good time. You know, it's still, you know what? You ain't got to wear your game face, baby. You just got to bring your game. You heard me? You ain't got coming all serious. Again, the formal competitive stuff is over with. Now you just want to stay relevant. Yeah. I told people, I said, man, I could be a B- or a C in this gym. And I say that because my ass 58. Most of the people in there are much younger than me. Mm-hmm. Right? I say, but when I go out amongst my peers, Bree, yeah, I'm an A+. Mm-hmm. And so that, along with staying on point, as you said, man, I always been into making sure we continue to excel and keep increasing our comprehension levels as relates to things finance. Well, you know, I'm a financial guy, so I've been a financial consultant for, as we mentioned earlier, for over 32 years. Mm-hmm. So I believe in that as well. Ain't no need in being in shape and then outlive your savings even. That is
right.
So all that stuff goes hand in hand. But you know, that's KIP is my passion. Mm-hmm. But how I pay the bills, how I've worked and how I've fed my family over these years has been in the finance arena. So, you know, I cut my teeth in the finance arena on August 17th, 1991. What year was you born?
92.
So it was before you came.
Yes.
Yeah, but I do that. So I'm immersed, I'm saturated, I'm intoxicated in the finance arena. Yeah. Culture. Yeah. Anything. My primary disciplines are insurance. I believe heavily in in what they call private equity banking. Mm-hmm. Retirement planning for folks that are getting ready to come out in retirement. Mm-hmm. There are some fantastic plans that you can actually even create your own form of pension plan. Mm-hmm. I don't want to turn this into a finance conversation, but I'm even certified in blockchain technology and digital assets because that's where our world is going. Mm. And for folks who don't understand, who ain't paying attention, y'all sit the hell up, baby, and pay attention because that's where the world is going. Blockchain technology, on-demand liquidity. Mm-hmm. What else? Smart contracts, digital currency. That's where our world is really going. Our world, the financial dollar, fiat currency, is defined as is being devalued. Inflation is tearing our money up. If you, again, we alluded to it earlier when we talk about how our money doesn't buy what it used to buy. That's an inflation piece right there. You know what I mean? So people have to really start consulting with folks that can help them in that area. I mentioned private equity banking. That's very important because we talk about, as blacks, right? African Americans.
Yep.
It already unfairly, it's on record. We make less, unfortunately, than other ethnicities, right? Unfairly, the majority of the time, right? But we have a spending habit that's out of this world. So we have become one of, if not probably the largest consumer.
Yeah.
Right. So we talk about buying black, keeping money in our communities. But let me say this, baby. My doctor is black. My lawyer is black. My therapist is black. Right.
Same.
I buy black clothing. Right. So yeah, I'm keeping the money in the black community, but when I pay those people, guess what? That shit ain't coming back. Ain't none of that coming back. Right. So it's a little bit more important to not just keep money in your black community, but keep it in the Brianna Dance private economy.
Yeah.
So if people could just look at it like this, imagine all the, man, I know you're only 31, baby, but imagine the money that you've spent over your lifetime, whether it was necessary or unnecessary, right? Look, whether it was tuition or whether it was a pair of products.
Right.
Imagine if you still had the majority of that at your disposal. And this is the rhetorical, but what would your net worth look like right now? It would be a little better, right?
Yeah.
What we were talking about, you working on a person might be a little closer to you. So people have to understand it's certain things, there's certain savings and investment strategies that have been in ours. And it's been in our world for years, but we don't know about them. And we won't take the time to research.
Yeah.
You know, I have, and my friends, well, I don't give a damn if they get mad at me or not, because I'm hard on them, right? So, man, why you got on a pair of $1,500 tennis shoes, Balenciagas, but you ain't got 3 months worth of savings in case an emergency come up? Get your ass, right? What are you thinking about? You know, but people want to hear that. You go on social media, because now I do promote my business on social media. Now I'm 2 years in now, right? So now I am promoting my business, and I can go online and do something crazy and get 1 million people viewing or whatever, right? Thumbs up, hearts, all that.
Yeah.
But go on there and put something in there about saving money, investing, or exercise.
Or exercising. Right. Crickets.
You hear me?
Yeah.
That shows where our mind is.
Yeah.
And trust and believe, it's much easier for me to sit here and pop this and gum pop this stuff. I want some red bottoms too.
Right.
You hear me? Y'all always know I kept me a red convertible.
Okay, you listen. You kept looking
before
nice.
these shows knew what it was. I laugh now because they into cigars and all this and drinking liquor and and I just laugh because I'm like, man, I was doing that shit 30 years ago. But it's cool. It's cool because we all got to go through it. But
you got to evolve.
Just have your priorities in order.
Right.
Yeah. Just have your priorities in order. That's all. And I just don't get it, man. And we're going to keep on falling behind. See, now that I've been able to creep and peep behind people's curtains, financial curtains, and see, because that's my job. You got to let me see
what's happening. You have to assess it and look.
And a lot of people won't even talk to me because they don't want me to see. Because they know and they don't want me to see. But it ain't never too late. And when I tell y'all that the digital asset space is going to be a way where we can recoup some lost time and maybe even some lost money to the equity market and get some of that money back and put some savings programs on turbo and steroids and get that money back. Because I'm telling you that the digital asset space is being defined as the fastest growing asset class in the history, in recorded history.
Oh, wow.
Faster, baby, than the internet did at its inception.
Oh, wow.
You hear me?
Yeah.
So it's just, I mean, people can contact me or whatever, but
that's what I want to kind of end on that note of what are some tips for people trying to get their finances in order, or prioritizing? What's a basic, simple advice that you would
I
give
think you
them?
should look at your financial house. I'll use that analogy. So for an example, you pretty much have 5 stages. I'm gonna say you would have, how is it? Okay, I wasn't ready for that. Okay, you got your protection level. That's the foundation. You have your regular savings level. Number 3 is your growth and diversification. Right? You're getting more like into now equity exposure, like mutual funds or stock. Okay. Then you have number 4 would be speculative investing, like digital assets, for an example. What do they call it? Like gold and silver. Stuff,
Okay.
right? Precious metals is what I was looking for. And then 5th, and what people don't think about a lot of times, is wealth distribution. A lot of times we spend a significant amount of time creating the wealth, but we haven't put enough plans in place to disperse it to our loved ones at our expiration. You feel me? So now the government gets it all.
Yeah.
So, just having those plans in place, it's finance is a case by case situation. Everybody's, majority of people's temperaments are different. You might be more into, as you should be because you're younger, more into equity risk, because you got more time to make up if you lose something, where I might have to be a little more conservative on my end of the continuum because I'm right there at retirement.
Right.
So, or you might just be from day one. You like this. I'm gonna shoot dice. I'm playing stocks. And I might be like holding my cards like this.
Like,
So, I don't want you to see what I'm doing. So everything is different. But the thing is, you gotta first and foremost, you gotta make up in your mind that you're gonna allocate the right amount of time and attention. You got jokers out here who worry more about, hey man, who's the best running back in the history of the NFL? I don't give a shit. What does it make? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sorry. I don't care. What difference does it make, man? That ain't helping me. These young kids out here making tons of money, and they should. They should, because the owners damn sure do. But what money? I mean, unless you bet. I mean, I don't bet. I don't gamble, right? Not with money. So, I just think that, man, we are caught up, man. We just caught up in our minds on, we going to all the parties. We going, we doing, stay on. You got that much money, man, for real? You stay going on a trip, bro. Do you really? If something happened, you lose that job, man, you good? How long you good for? You robbing Peter to pay Paul? You ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw that joint out of, but yet man, I had a close friend. He's more like a family member. This is a true story. I damn sure not gonna say his name. This joker asked me for $10,000. Yeah, I got it, but I ain't giving it to you. Now, Breeders, he wanted me to invest, give him some money so he can buy some cars, so he can sell cars. I'm not a lender, right? And I'm not in that business, and I don't know how to sell cars. Oh man, you can have the title to the cars. Well, I don't want to end up having to sell cars. But hold up, didn't you just ask me to go to a homecoming? How you say you $5,000 behind on your rent, right? But yet you asking me to go on basically on a vacation, go down here to a homecoming with you. So why are you going on the homecoming trip? Well, you flying and renting cars, paying for stay, for lodging, but yet you ain't got your rent money. But then you mad at me and gonna tell me you don't F with me no more. Oh, well then, nigga,
priorities are out of order. That's what I hear.
So you a bad investment risk. I'm over this joint trying to keep my head above water like everybody else.
Right.
But you want me to invest with you. And I see this your behavior, and then you mad at me.
That wouldn't be wise on your part.
Come on,
signing up for that. Well, Mr. Bowie, that's really helpful. I know you do this for a living, and you help people. You get in their business, their financial business. So how can we contact you if we want ongoing support? Like if we can hire you for help?
Bree, they can call me directly.
Okay.
They can call me directly. My number is 240-988-8950. You can call me directly. Tell them that Miss Dan sent them. If there's anything I can do, we can start that conversation there. The majority of my communication is there's not a consulting fee, but there are some things that there is a consulting fee for.
Right.
But we can discuss that. But I'm like this. If it's anything I can do, I'm down. I'm blessed, Bree. You feel me? And I ain't just talking about, I'm not talking about no money. I'm talking about living wise. I mean, I've been around the block and I've been in some sketchy situations. God has looked out for me.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So if it's anything, it's a mandate for me. I don't care whether it's your health. If you need an organization to work out with, and I'm not, again, just to come and be around some people. We have a ton of trainers and nutritionists and stuff like that that we can introduce you to. Now that's a business. That's between y'all. That ain't gonna be free. But coming and buying with Team KIP is free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But on the financial side, if it's anything, life insurance, if it's retirement planning, if you're at the age and you're getting ready to retire and you've had these defined contribution plans and you need a place to put that money, there are programs out there you can get additional matching up to like 40%, but you got to take the time to just research it. It don't cost you nothing, really.
Mm-hmm.
And all the way, again, into the digital asset space. So there's stuff out here that's for you, but you got to take your time you got to investigate. My uncle used to say you have to define the animal first before you can attack. Right. So now once you've ascertained and defined all the information, now you can make an informed decision and not just give your money blindly to somebody or not sit there with I think they call it a paralysis of analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Or nothing.
Mm.
And time is flying by, inflation eating up your money. Yeah, you still see that 50,000 in your bank account, but that 50,000 don't give you the same buying power anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to start looking at stored value stuff like buying gold. Pay attention to what's going on with these financial institutions. They're in trouble. They're having liquidity issues. They're practicing fractional reserve banking. So, baby, that's where, for every dollar that they get, they can actually invest 90 cents. We've been getting pimped by banks forever. You know what I'm saying? Check it out real quick. Bree, we give our money. They ain't take our money.
We giving it to it.
Bank of America ain't nobody jump out and say, bitch, give me your money. They jump out on the sidewalk. You came in the bank and you gave them your money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we give them our money. Now, Bree, people need to do what you call interest rate checks. So at least semi-annually, maybe quarterly, call your financial institution and find out what kind of interest rates you're getting on your passbook savings account, your checking account. See what kind of interest you'd have to pay on on anything that you would borrow from, personal loans, whatever. Also, definitely see what kind of interest rates you got to pay on your credit cards. Don't keep up with that. But see, but again, let me say this. First of all, see what they're paying you. Right? So now I did one a couple weeks ago, Navy Federal and NASA.
Mm-hmm.
The best interest rate I'm getting on a regular passbook savings account at NASA, guess what it is?
What?
0.1%.
Whoa.
0.1%. At Navy Federal, 0.25%.
Wow.
Now, mind you, these are pre-tax because whatever interest you gain, you gotta pay taxes on.
Mm-hmm.
So, guess what you're getting on your checking accounts? 0.
Wow.
So hold up now. You take my money. You make money through fractional investing and lending. You give out loans for mortgages, cars, personal loans, business loans, credit cards. You making money, which you supposed to. The banks ain't just get that money, put it in no vault or under the bank mattress. They turn that money over. So they taking our money, they not paying us anything, and then they're making money. But then when you come in there, you want a loan for a car or a house, ain't you paying a high interest rate on your credit card? Your credit card might be named Hercules. You got an 840 score, right? But your best credit card is 11.99 plus prime. So when I come in there to borrow some money, you ain't paying me no money, but I'm borrowing money. But ain't I borrowing my own damn money? They pimping. They pimping. So, but that's what we let them do because they're not taking it. So there's ways to take back the banking function, like through private equity banking. Becoming your own bank is a street term. It's ways to do it, but you just gotta take your time and look. Oh, I'm your girl. I got some stuff set up for us, so we moving. We doing the best we can to move and shake it. Trust me, it's difficult.
Yeah.
If I go down, it ain't gonna be because I ain't trying. It ain't because I was worrying about no goddamn going Cuban cigar. And no top shelf, no bullet liquor, nothing like that. It ain't gonna be because of that, baby.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be because I slaved myself to these luxuries of life. It's gonna be because you know what? Went out there and I shot my shot. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because I'm shooting my shot.
Mr. Bowie, thank you for just moving with intention. Like that, you move with intention, and this is inspiring to me, and I know it's going to help others because we need accountability. We need sometimes that discipline, that tough love, that reminder of what we have access to and who. And
We
that's
all,
what we all do. Yeah. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
You hear me? I
Okay.
love you. I
Love
love you
you
guys.
too.
Man, y'all, I'm telling you, when I say this, I really mean it, man. I don't know where my daughter would be. I'm telling you, people grow up and they, but I know that at a time I needed you guys, I mean, tremendously. I needed an answer. You feel me? Because we was in this joint like Beirut. You hear me? We was going at it. And my daughter at 13, my daughter black belt in Kung Fu. My daughter
Oh
ain't
yeah,
scared of
Mignon
nothing.
can fight. She has the hands, y'all.
Oh yeah, she ain't scared of nothing. And they wanted Mignon to change her art to another form. Because I also had Mignon working out with professional boxers. Anybody who out there in the area, she worked out with the headbangers. I grew up with Barry Hunt and I know Big Boog and all them guys. Boogie was in the movie Creed. He was big
Yes,
guy.
I saw him. They did a story on him, right?
Yeah, yeah. So he'll tell you, Mignon. He said, man, Mignon, if Mignon would have went straight into boxing, he was like, oh, she'd have been a world champion easy. But they wanted her to change her art from Kung Fu, I think it was Taekwondo or Judo, so she could prepare for the 2012 Olympic trials.
Wow.
So when I stepped to men, y'all ain't see it. See, men manning up. Men woman up, right? And I used to be like, I will. So she gave me a run for my money, man. But when I say, man, I'm so proud of my baby. I'm so proud of her. She advanced degree. She stay healthy. Our relationship is better now because we ain't fighting over the same bathroom.
More space. You got more space.
And the only reason why I stay where I am because my baby moved across the street, bought a house across the street. So that's what make me stay here because I don't need to be here. I ain't no house dude anyway. I need me a condo up on
you give me condo vibe. You really
overlooking some water. That's what I need. Give me 2 places, 2 parking spaces, and a place for my Harley Davidson. I'm Gucci. Yeah. All right, baby.
Oh my God. All right, Mr. Bowie. Well, thank you so much. And I want to say also, shout out to Mignon because we're the same age, so we're kids and we don't know the impact we have on our friends or each other. And she's inspired me as well. So I want her to publicly say, thank you to her. Whatever you instilled in her, it flows to other people too. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
All righty. We'll talk to you.
Gorgeous, girl. You done grew up.
Listen, I'm grown. We grown now.
Yeah, y'all grown. Yeah, y'all old. Y'all old as dirt.
Oh, that's why we gotta stay healthy.
Y'all do, man. I'm so proud of y'all. Love y'all. Real talk.
Thank you, Mr. Bowie. And I'll talk to you later.
Deuces. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Power of Care podcast. If you'd like to hear more, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Power of Care Podcast. And be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube at Power of Care _.